Okay, สวัสดีครับ So I'm Nantapol from Thailand, and I'm very glad to be here with all of you guys. Greetings to the chairman of the Singapore Road Safety Council, the Singapore Automobile Association, and respected guests. So my topic today is practical tips and experiences on road trips in Thailand. So I don't know if a lot of you have been driving in Thailand, but this will be a good guide, for you to be aware of the driving conditions. Okay, the topics are practical trips for Singaporeans to drive in Thailand, a synopsis on accidents involving Singaporean drivers, and last is sharing of personal experiences for road trips in Thailand. Okay, when we speak about driving safety, this is based on personal experiences and also from what I've seen in Thai driving conditions. So what affects driving safety is, number one, the driver condition. Are you fatigued? Are you jet lagged? Did you have a full meal? Are you sleepy? So these are some of the examples that will affect you as the driver. Secondly, vehicle condition. Is your car prepared to go on a long distance trip? I've seen friends from Singapore, from Malaysia. They say, oh, okay, I'm not going to change my tires because I want to use it to the full extent. I'm going to change it after my long trip. Okay, so that's one type of risk. Thirdly, road and environmental conditions. So if you've driven in Thailand, you've seen that some of the road conditions are not perfect. Construction work, traffic violations, and natural disasters, flooding. Those are some of the types of risks involved with the environment and the road conditions. And if you want to know about Thai road mentality, these are some of the examples. I cannot sum up every aspect, but these are some of the more common explanations. So first of all, traffic congestions. If you drive in Bangkok, you will know it's notorious that Bangkok is like a deadlock. And that is why you can see people being frustrated, being angry. If they take the first opportunity to escape the traffic, then they will take it. So motorcycle culture. We have one of the most motorcycle population in the world, I think, because it's the cheapest way to travel. It's the best way to get around. But the scooters, the Grab motorcyclists who deliver food to you, run your errands. Those are particularly the riskier motorists. Cultural norms. In Thailand, you have a Mai Pen Rai way of thinking. If you translate that, it means that okay, I'm carefree. I'm not gonna say anything bad to you. You are more lenient. So that is a part of the reason why you see some traffic violations. The cops may be lax. They won't enforce it, or fellow motorists say, okay, I'm gonna just cut in front of you, do a U-turn. Okay, I think they won't say anything. It's a Mai Pen Rai. I'm gonna get away with it. So that's the way of thinking. Next, economic factors. So if you see rickshaws, if you see food stalls, you will see that they're not going to be considerate with blocking the way on the pavement, on the streets, going against traffic, because that is their priority, make their living, day by day. Enforcement challenges. If you see the number of motorcycles, the number of traffic enforcement officials, they will be overwhelmed by the number of motorcycles on the street. It's impossible to catch every wrongdoer. Road infrastructure. So if you have construction work, if you have potholes, if you have badly designed junctions, then those are risks that you will see as well. Okay, so these are some of risky scenarios that you may encounter in Thailand. You will see, motorcycles going on the wrong way. An explanation is that we don't have many traffic junctions. Sometimes you need to go a very, very long way to make U-turns. So what locals do is, they just go against the traffic. That is, easy for them, and that is also very risky. This is on a very popular road in Thailand, in Sukhumvit Road. You can see that, taxi motorcycles. If you ride pillion, you will experience a very exciting ride, because these motorcycle taxis will try to beat the time. They will try to beat the lights, because they will try to make as many rounds on their motorcycle as much as possible. Okay, and nobody, the cops will not be able to do the work if almost at every light there's like one or two or even more wrongdoers going against the light. Okay. In Thailand, there are many types of taxis or public transportation. So this is a type of public transportation. So passengers ride on the back of a pickup truck. This is legal, but the way passengers ride or stand is very risky. Even the Tesla, autonomous driving will not recognize this. They will stop immediately, saying that, okay, there's like a pedestrian on the street, I need to stop, right? So these are some of the risks. Okay, construction area. Okay, you can see some of the barriers on the street, but as you can see, there's workers, doing their job. There's buses stopping, and if you have motorcycles trying to avoid every obstacle, they will be weaving on the streets. So you need a third eye in the back of your head to navigate. But, this is some of the scenarios. The next example is a slow car on the fast lane. You will see that there are many pickup trucks with agricultural purposes. They're carrying vegetables, they're carrying fruit from out of town. They will try to, maybe preserve their cargo, stay on the fast lane, because this is usually the lane that is the smoothest, right? On the left, you have the big trucks running, you have, potholes and all, but okay, they will try to be on the fast lane, and as you can see, faster people will try to push them out, honk at them, or try to overtake them. But eventually it will escalate, and you will have cars competing to cut each other off. So these are some of the types of traffic you will experience. My best advice is to avoid, these confrontations. When I was taking my driver's license in the US, I always have this in mind, the 2-second rule, have at least 2 seconds between like an object on the road. This will leave you at least 2 seconds to react to any accident. If a motorcycle cuts in front of you, or if there's like a car stopping in the middle of the road, then you have enough time to react. Maybe in Thailand you need a 3 or 4 second rule because you will have more time to react. But even that might not work because if you go slow, they will overtake you, or I don't know. But anyways, leave enough time to react and just be on the defensive side of driving. Another U-turn. This might be more applicable to you guys because you're on the highway. You have trucks going against the U-turn direction. And you saw the blinkers, right? He does the illegal action and then he tries to say sorry by blinking. But that's the Mai Pen Rai norm. Okay, finally, motorcycles again. Okay, you will see that the U-turn spots on highways and in Thailand are on the island on the median. So when you see the U-turn spot on the median, you will have to be very, very careful because there are big trucks making U-turn. They will take 2 or 3 lanes, even though they're not supposed to, or you will have motorcycles coming from against the direction, and they will try to cut right through the traffic just to go to the other side of the road. And as you can see in this case, they will cut from another lane just to do the U-turn. Okay, let's go deeper into some of the accidents that Singaporeans have been involved with in Phuket, in Phatthalung, and in Rayong. Okay, the first example is the passenger car colliding with a bus. So in this case, I present you the news and the Thai news. I try to see what the conclusion was, but I couldn't find anything. So I had to try to picture where this happened and what types of conditions they were in. So this involved, the passenger car driven by a Singaporean going off the lane and then hitting a passenger bus. So if you can see the exact location, I don't know the exact location, but I can sort of show you the road where this happened. This is on a very hilly part of Phuket. And, if you see that sign, it says danger, very sharp curve. And already you can see that, with the warnings, with the natural environments, it is a very risky road. And if you're not familiar with the driving conditions, you may be, distracted with the 3, conditions that affect driving. Yourself, you're using the phone to navigate. You may be looking onto the navigation system. Your car might not brake properly, and then you swerve to the other side. Or, there were roadworks. Anything could happen, but anyways, if you go slow, you might be able to get away with, a severe accident, make it less severe. Next is an accident involving vehicles hitting an elephant. So this is pretty much a freak accident because personally, I've driven on this road and I find that this road is very nice. It's got wide lanes. It's got, long, beautiful scenes on the side. It's enjoyable to ride it, but according to this accident, you have elephants crossing the road, and then the first car that came to the elephant, he was able to stop, but the car that came behind, he couldn't stop at the same time. So there was a collision, and there were multiple collisions following. And then the Singaporean driver was the third car that hit the elephant head on. And so I don't know if this could have been avoided, but as you can see, the road is very open. There's not much congestion. And in fact, there's a sign saying elephants ahead. So you're well warned in advance. There are multiple occasions I saw this sign, and I specifically knew that this sign was special, and that's why I was able to take a picture of this while on a personal trip. And as you can see, I was filming this video because I like this route so much. But if you're driving normally, you cannot see that there's some really serious danger upcoming. It's a very nice stretch of road, palm plantations, and then hilly, mountainous hills on the side. So, yeah. Next is a motorcycle crash in the province of Patalung. He was a solo rider, and unfortunately, he went off the road. And but as you can see, some of the surrounding conditions, you already know that there's roadworks going on. And I couldn't find news about the conclusion, but I saw that this was across a furniture store, and I searched where this furniture store was located. And this was the latest photograph on Google Maps. As you can see, the motorcyclist was heading towards the furniture store, and on the left side you can see that there's roadworks, and the traffic has been reassigned. So the actual lanes were blocked, and there might have been incoming vehicle using that lane instead. So maybe he was using his mobile phone to navigate. He got confused or whatever. But anyways, the road barriers and the traffic realignment had to do with the accident. So these are some of the examples that you need to think about. Next is a rather more pleasant topic, is driving sustainably in Thailand. So this is what our association has been working on, trying to decrease your carbon emissions in tourism. So what are the 4 emission factors? It happens in transportation, in hotels, restaurants, and in waste. I'll also be speaking about EV driving, using electric vehicles. So we are working with the Thai Greenhouse Gas Management Organization. They are the organization that sets the standards for measuring carbon emissions, and trying to set the way to recognize which are the emitting factors. So we focus on a PCR. It's a product category rule that is applied specifically to tourism, as opposed to a product. If you have a canned product, you're subject to another PCR. If you have an industry, you are also subject to a different PCR. But here we're speaking specifically about the tourism industry. So the 4 emissions that you are involved with when traveling. I'll keep this very brief, but this is just an introduction, because if you are able to be sustainable, you will also save money, because it's kind of relative. when you travel, the more you burn up fuel, the more gas you emit, right? So if you choose the vehicle that will be more fuel efficient, then you will be more sustainable as well. And the emissions factor is like a multiplier. So if you have a type of bus that has a lower efficiency rate, then that will be more polluting. And if you choose a type of fuel, then those types of fuels also have different emission factors. So the more EF, the more polluting, the more gas you emit. And the carbon footprint that is measured, the unit is called kilograms per carbon dioxide equivalent. So when you multiply the emissions factor, you will convert all the different greenhouse gases into carbon dioxide. So this is what carbon dioxide is equivalent to. Next is meals. When you have meals, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you are also subject to emitting greenhouse gases because of cooking, waste, importing materials from their sources. The unit that we measure is called meals. So if you have breakfast per person in the morning, the unit is 1 meal, and then you multiply it with the emissions factor. So just as an example, an international buffet, with imported lobster, imported cheese, you will have a higher emissions factor compared to like a vegetarian meal. You will have the least emissions factor. Okay, this is the way to calculate it. In accommodations, the unit is called room nights. So if you have 2 people staying in one night, that is 1 room night. You have 1 person staying in 1 room, that is also 1 room night. Then you multiply by the emissions factor. 5-star hotels have the most emissions factor, as opposed to a homestay with no aircon. There's a difference of around maybe 60 times the emissions factor. So if you go camping in Thailand, that is also a way to make your carbon footprint very low. Okay, that is the carbon footprint calculation. And lastly, waste. So there are 2 types of waste. Waste from dining and from meals, and also waste from whatever you throw away, a one-time use garbage. And that is measured in kilograms. So the more food you waste, if you don't finish a meal, there's a lot of food waste, then that is contributing to the carbon footprint. Also with one-time use materials, if you use like a plastic cup or anything that is one-time use, that is also part of the waste you calculate for the carbon footprint. Okay, so when I spoke about transport, that is the highest type of tourism activity that contributes to carbon footprint. So if you are able to use an EV vehicle, then you will be decreasing your carbon footprint immensely. So just to share, the EV infrastructure in Thailand, we are rapidly expanding, the charging network. And if you check out the gas stations in Thailand, you will see that there are many service providers: EA, PTT, MEA, that is the Metropolitan Energy Authority, EGAT, that is also an electrical service provider, eVolt. And this is the network in Thailand. You can almost go anywhere and be able to charge your EV vehicle. Lastly, these are some of the pictures you can travel by car in Thailand. I've brought many Singaporeans and Malaysians to drive in Thailand, and this is the conclusion. You try to avoid risks, but at the end you will have a really nice time in Thailand because driving will take you to unseen destinations. You will be able to enjoy off the mainstream destinations. And driving is rewarding, fun. It avoids the crowds. You will see unique landscapes. If you understand the Thai mentality, I think you will already be able to avoid a lot of risk. And if you are also driving sustainably, you think about the 4 factors that contribute to carbon footprint, then you yourself will already save some money. And we are friendly people. Don't hesitate to ask. And last of all, thank you, and have a safe trip to Thailand. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ